And then this user might be strong in category 3 and 4. And these categories are managed by that Folksonomics system.
Just tags.
Well, are they,
Yeah.
or are they managed by?
You're talking about a different thing, right? I'm talking about there are no categories. You're talking about if you have.
Well, you're saying that there are categories. There are clustering. You can call it one category.
But these are analog.
And they're fluid in like which category is this in? It's like there isn't an exact line. There's just distances. Like you don't actually have to do or do not put a circle around this.
I agree with that. So in this system, I'd like to say that too. Yeah. So in a way, there's like this is like a strength. This edge has a strength on it. So it's like analog strengths. So it's like continuum. Okay. So that works with both, right? But you still need things to relate to, or you don't.
Well, so this is sort of eliminating the piece in the middle. Instead of a document is in a category and the user is good in that category, you actually are just calculating.
Or tag. Sorry, I should say tag.
Yeah, category or tag, or
The difference being in multiple would be category.
It's possible to go to sort of remove the tag or category from the middle and simply weight the assertions that are tied to things that are similar. So you can say, well, and so you basically aren't in this binary thing of I am or I'm not in this category.
You're pre-tag space now, but you have clusters. But now who goes and sees the clusters and labels them?
But that's really cool. That's the thing is that there's no
Just merges.
there's no need
Yeah,
to label them.
I do like this.
There's no label. There's no explicit boundary. It's a gray boundary, and there's no edge to the cluster. It's just white and
If you tag it, it even helps.
Right.
You can try to tag it. So the social process is to try to tag the cluster.
Science,
Yeah.
you can find the center of mass of
An interesting thing to point out is
and
that
it says this is the tag.
Yeah. And the social process
So if
is
you have
people
a
can
tag,
help
just
to
pull
do
it that
that,
way.
right? Yeah.
and actually,
And that's
what,
the evolution of this symbolic layer.
you can posit the position of this tag, and then if tagging is a type of annotation, and those tags are subject to moderation, where someone says, actually, I think you tagged that incorrectly.
Right. Right.
Then you can like adjust the
Position of the tag.
the center of that, the actual, the center of gravity for that tag.
Yeah. So there's a social quorum process managing that, which is another.
Well, and you get feedback about like if something that pops up over here and someone tags it this way, and then someone says that's a poor judgment, it's not really that tag. Well, you know that you don't actually want to drift this way. You want to keep it this way.
Yeah.
So we're talking about content here, which is pretty cool. What about stance of the annotations?
Yeah.
Right. What about this is a critique, but this is a supporting argument, or this doesn't match that?
No, I think that's a totally separate orthogonal thing. That's the metadata on the annotation of am I asking a question or providing an answer? Am I saying I support this or am I refute it?
But on this topic.
And that's metadata on each of these assertions, which are sort of live.
So it's a pretty orthogonal space. That's cool.
So
it's totally orthogonal. For each one of these domains.
It's something about the tags too. Like if you imagine the way you clustered these was to grab commonly used words from each and then measure the commonality of commonly used words between these two. You could actually say that each of these is its own unique tag cluster, and they have distances that are individually calculated between them. And the word or words you would use for this particular group would be that which is extremely common in that group. But that has a group, and that has a group, and basically there are an infinite number of clusters of all sizes that they're highly subjective, but you're basically not constrained into a sort of binary. It's a bucket.
So
it's not a bucket.
it's both fractal and
Flip this on its head. Is there benefit to letting users self-select this or users self-describe?
Right. So they can have their own subjective. They can have their own subjective definition of this because say there's these different cliques of people around the world. Some people might say that evolution is like
searchable.
You know what I mean? Like so people will have their own subjective view into the system. Yeah, because their community will they will like say on the social graph, people who are closer to them, say via the trust network by weight, they'll prefer to see their tags versus the tags of people in their collective. And this allows for that.
Well, and what's interesting is this guy.
Going back to this question of is it then worth it for people to actually tell us what the tag says rather than us just inferring what they are from the documents? I think it still is.
Yes.
And then because one that is more explicit in the intent and may actually correct our algorithm. Help us correct our algorithm.
Well, and I think
so. We like Amazon recommendations, right? We're trying to cluster things together that you might like, right? And then, well, how do you tell us whether you like it or not? Well, if we miscategorize the tag and you don't put it there, or you like remove the tag, and this is not right, then it helps us. Right? So I think in delicious have that when you actually suggest tags for you. If I link on delicious,
Right, but we also started off this by saying that preloading. Suggesting limits
this is secondary.
My point is,
So
my point is, different things. So one is like, do I want to suggest? Another is like, if I simply see something that's already tagged and I remove the tag, I'm saying something that's already there, right? But I don't have to do that always, right? So delicious, like when you submit the link, right? It shows you the tag. So that kind of like curbs people's, experience, right?
Right.
And that's, so you don't have to suggest it. But if I repeat something that was already there, then it reinforces it.
Right. Well, and also remember, you're coming from a different place in the social graph as someone else. So really what you're doing is you're creating another layer of linkage that relates to tribes or relates, because even though we all speak the same language, we don't really, right? Because of connections into different social graphs. And so what you're really able to do is control the drifting of clicks together or apart by changing the dynamics of the system, which is really important to the overall efficiency of any system organization, right? Because the cross-pollination between these things has to do with, if their ontologies get too far apart, they're just like, I have no idea what you're talking about.